The best day of Washington Commanders training camp so far just happened, and it wasn't because one side dominated the other. It's because both sides were genuinely competing, trading big plays back and forth in exactly the kind of high-level iron sharpens iron environment that should have this entire fan base feeling good. Let's break down everything that went down once the pads finally came on. Let's start with the injury and roster notes from the morning. Safety Cameron Curl, back from the physically unable to perform list, wasted no time making his presence felt, coming away with an interception off backup quarterback Ethan Garbers in his very first practice back. That's exactly the kind of statement return every fan wants to see from a player working his way back into the mix. On the injury front, the same handful of names remained out: Trey Amos, Nick Allegretti, Dorrance Armstrong, Dietrich Wise, and Tress Way, but importantly, there were no new setbacks reported for Allegretti specifically, continuing his positive recovery trajectory. Now let's get into the actual practice, which opened with goal line and red zone work right from the jump. Backup quarterback Marcus Mariota got the twos rolling first, connecting with Bill Krosky-Merritt for a touchdown over a defensive back on just the second play of the day. The very next snap, Jaden Daniels delivered an absolutely gorgeous corner fade touchdown to Terry McLaurin, the kind of throw that had people online buzzing immediately. Just one play later, Javon Kinlaw got home for a sack on Daniels, a perfect illustration of exactly the theme running through this entire practice, both sides trading real, meaningful wins rather than one unit simply dominating the other uncontested. That's precisely the kind of competitive tension that builds real toughness heading into the season. Elsewhere in the passing game, Daniels found tight end Chig Okonkwo in the back of the end zone for what would have been a 20-yard touchdown, firing a tight, difficult throw into real coverage. Rookie receiver Antonio Williams also found the end zone on a corner route, continuing his strong start to camp. There was even a fun wrinkle worth noting: a trick play design featuring Williams attempting a pass of his own, a nod to his college days at Clemson where he reportedly threw a touchdown pass in every season of his career. This particular attempt didn't connect, sailing into tight coverage, but it's a fun signal that this coaching staff is already comfortable pulling from a deep bag of tricks this early in camp. Up front, guard Sam Cosmi reportedly had a dominant day in one-on-one pass rush drills, consistently getting the better of his matchups while also going toe-to-toe in some genuinely competitive individual battles against Javon Kinlaw specifically. That kind of high-level trench competition is exactly what both position groups need heading into the season. At kicker, both Jake Moody and Drew Stevens connected on all 6 of their attempts, but Stevens delivered the single most eye-popping individual moment of the entire practice: a 55-yard field goal that reportedly cleared the distance with real room to spare. That kind of raw leg strength is exactly the sort of undeniable, highlight-worthy talent that makes it awfully hard to look away from him in this ongoing competition, even with Moody holding a clear experience and tenure advantage. If this competition remains genuinely close as camp progresses, there's a reasonable argument for leaning toward the less proven but more physically gifted option, especially in a league increasingly stocked with young, big-legged specialists making immediate impacts. Elsewhere on offense, receiver Jalen Lane hauled in an impressive touchdown in the back of the end zone, while safety Jeremy Reeves nearly came away with an interception on a different red zone attempt from Daniels. Tight end Ben Sinnott continued getting featured creatively in this offense, including a play where he faked a block before leaking out on what looked like a play-action concept, exactly the kind of misdirection that's plagued this franchise for years when used against them, and that this coaching staff clearly wants to start using themselves. Receiver Lawrence Cager also continued a strong stretch of camp, hauling in a red zone touchdown on a seam route where he skied over a defender to make the catch at its highest point. At quarterback, Sam Hartman reportedly rebounded with a considerably better day compared to earlier in camp, a small but meaningful sign in that ongoing QB3 competition. and cornerback Michael Seinristil continued making his case as one of the standout performers of camp, picking up back-to-back pass breakups in the end zone on separate plays, including one on a target to Van Jefferson. He's continued seeing reps at multiple spots throughout camp as this coaching staff figures out his ideal role, and while that positional fluidity can sometimes slow a player's rhythm, it's clearly not holding him back from making plays right now. At linebacker, rookie Sonny Styles again showed off real instincts, meeting Bill Krosky-Merritt in the hole immediately on a play following a jet motion snap. Fellow rookie linebacker Joshua Josephs also continued his strong camp, knocking down a pass and nearly coming away with an interception of his own, drawing praise for his impressive length and closing range. And Odafe Oweh continued doing exactly what Odafe Oweh does, generating consistent pressure even now that pads are fully on. Zooming out, the overall theme of this practice was refreshingly balanced. The offense scored plenty in red zone and goal line work, but the defense also delivered real disruptive plays right back, sacks, pass breakups, and near interceptions scattered throughout. That kind of competitive give and take is exactly the sign of a healthy, high-level training camp, as opposed to either side completely running away with every single rep. If you're a fan looking for a reason to feel genuinely good about the direction of this team, a practice like this, where both sides earned real wins, is exactly the kind of day you want to see and build on. So here's where things stand as camp continues rolling forward. A safety in Cameron Curl making an immediate impact upon returning from injury. A quarterback in Jaden Daniels continuing to sharpen his game against a defense that's genuinely testing him. A kicking competition that just got a jolt of real intrigue thanks to a monster field goal from Drew Stevens. And a genuine sense that both sides of this roster are pushing each other to get better heading into joint practices and preseason games just around the corner. So tell us, did that 55-yard field goal change your mind at all on the kicking competition? And which of these rookie standouts, Sonny Styles, Joshua Josephs, or Antonio Williams, are you most excited to watch develop as camp continues? Let us know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single update as training camp continues to unfold. There's a lot more to track in the days ahead. And we'll be right back here with the next update very soon. Hail to the Commanders.